The last passenger. Most people who take the midnight bus don't ask questions. They just want to get home. That's what Daniel thought too. It was a little after 12:30 a.m. when he reached the bus stop. The streetlights flickered softly, and the road was completely empty. No cars, no pedestrians, just the quiet hum of electricity and the distant buzz of insects. Daniel checked his phone. 1%. Of course. His shift at the warehouse had run late again. 12 hours of lifting boxes, scanning barcodes, and listening to the endless beep of machines. All he wanted was to sit down. Across the street, a bus slowly turned the corner. It wasn't the usual city bus. The headlights looked dimmer somehow, almost yellow. Daniel stepped forward as it rolled to a stop in front of him. The doors opened with a tired, mechanical sigh. Inside, the bus was almost empty. Only 3 passengers. Daniel climbed aboard and nodded at the driver. The driver didn't nod back. In fact, he didn't move at all. The man sat stiffly behind the wheel, hands locked at 10 and 2. His uniform looked old, like the kind drivers wore decades ago. And he didn't blink. Daniel hesitated for a moment before dropping $2 into the fare box. The coins made a hollow metallic clank. Still no reaction from the driver. Weird. Daniel shrugged and walked toward the back. The bus smelled faintly like dust and something older, like a basement that hadn't been opened in years. The first passenger was a woman sitting near the front. She stared straight ahead, hands folded in her lap. The second was an elderly man near the middle, and the third sat all the way in the back. Daniel chose a seat across from the old man. The doors hissed shut. The bus began moving. At first, everything seemed normal. The engine hummed softly as they passed dark houses and empty intersections. Streetlights slid across the windows in slow orange streaks. But something started to bother Daniel. No one moved. Not the woman, not the old man, not the figure in the back, and not the driver. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Still no stops. Daniel leaned toward the old man. "Hey," he said quietly, "does this bus stop at Maple Street?" The old man didn't answer. Daniel frowned. "Excuse me?" Slowly, the old man turned his head. The movement was stiff, too stiff, like a mannequin being rotated. His eyes were wide and glassy, and when he spoke, his voice sounded dry. "First time?" Daniel forced a laugh. "Yeah. Is it that obvious?" The old man stared at him for several seconds before replying. "You shouldn't have gotten on." Daniel blinked. "What?" But the old man had already turned back to face forward. The bus continued rolling through the dark. Daniel checked outside the window. They weren't anywhere near Maple Street. In fact, he didn't recognize the area at all. The houses looked wrong, older, almost abandoned. He stood up. "Driver," Daniel called out, "I think you missed my stop." No response. The driver didn't even twitch. Daniel walked toward the front. With every step, the bus seemed quieter. Too quiet. Even the engine sounded distant now. "Hey," Daniel said louder. Sir? He reached the driver's seat and froze. The driver's face was pale. Not pale like someone tired. Pale like wax. His skin looked stretched and dry. His eyes wide open but completely unfocused. Daniel leaned closer. That's when he realized something horrifying. The driver wasn't breathing. Before Daniel could react, the bus suddenly lurched, hard. He grabbed the pole to keep from falling. The bus turned down a long road, surrounded by nothing but trees. No streetlights, no houses, just darkness. Daniel rushed back to his seat. "Okay," he muttered. "This is not happening." The old man spoke again without looking at him. "It always takes the same road." Daniel stared at him. "What do you mean?" The old man slowly turned his head again. "You boarded after midnight." "So?" The old man's eyes seemed almost sad. "That means you weren't meant to leave." A cold wave ran down Daniel's spine. "What are you talking about?" The old man didn't answer. Instead, the woman near the front suddenly stood up. Her movement was sudden, sharp. She turned toward Daniel and smiled, but it wasn't a normal smile. It stretched too wide, showing too many teeth. "You're new," she said softly. Daniel backed into his seat. "What is wrong with this bus?" The figure in the back chuckled, a low, rasping laugh. Daniel slowly turned around. The person stood up. At first, Daniel thought it was a tall man. But as it stepped closer into the dim light, something about it seemed wrong. Its arms were too long, its posture hunched, and its face. Daniel couldn't focus on it. Every time he tried to look directly at the face, it felt like his eyes slipped away, like trying to stare at a shadow. "You shouldn't have boarded," it said. The voice sounded like several voices speaking at once. Daniel's heart pounded. "I'm getting off this bus." He rushed toward the front and grabbed the emergency lever. The doors didn't open. He pulled again. Nothing. The bus kept moving, faster now. The trees outside blurred into dark streaks. Behind him, the woman began laughing softly. The old man whispered something Daniel couldn't hear, and the tall figure kept walking closer. Step, step, step. Daniel slammed his fist against the glass. "Let me out!" Suddenly, the bus stopped, dead silent. The doors slowly creaked open. Outside, there was nothing. Just a foggy road surrounded by darkness. Daniel didn't hesitate. He jumped out. The moment his feet hit the pavement, the doors slammed shut. The bus pulled away immediately. Within seconds, it disappeared into the fog. Daniel stood there breathing heavily. His heart slowly began to calm down. "Okay," he whispered. "Okay. You're fine." He turned around and froze. The road behind him was empty. No houses, no lights, no city. Nothing, just an endless stretch of dark forest. And then, in the distance, headlights appeared. A bus slowly approached. Daniel squinted. It looked exactly like the one he had just escaped. The bus rolled closer, 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 and stopped in front of him. The doors opened with a familiar mechanical sigh. Inside, 3 passengers sat silently. The driver stared straight ahead, and the tall figure in the back slowly raised its head. Daniel took a step backward. "No," he whispered. But a voice from inside the bus called out softly, "Next stop." A pause. "Is yours." And the doors stayed open, waiting.